World War II started on September 1st, 1939, and went until September 2nd, 1945. The war took exactly 6 years and 1 day. Many different factors led to the start of World War II. The immediate cause of the war was Germany's invasion of Poland. In early 1939, Britain and France warned Germany that invading Poland would cause them to declare war. In September of 1939, when Hitler invaded Poland, war broke out in Europe. The Treaty of Versailles also contributed to the cause of World War II. America joined the war after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Germany surrendered in 1918, ending World War I. They were forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. Documents stated that Germany would take full blame for World War I. Their treaties would be reduced. They had to disarm and diminish their military, and they had to pay £6.6 billion in reparations. The Germans felt this was harsh, and it caused them to form a deep resentment towards the Allied forces, France, Great Britain, and the United States. Germany could not afford to pay the money because many people during the 1920s were very poor. As the Nazi army rose to power, they completely ignored the terms they agreed to in the treaty. December 7, 1941, America joined the war. The Japanese led a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, and the next day, America and Great Britain declared war on Japan. On December 10th, Germany and Italy declared war on the U.S. There were two main sides in World War II. The Allies side included many European countries, such as France, Poland, and Great Britain, as well as America, who joined in on December of 1941. America put many soldiers in the war, even to the point of making a draft in 1942. All men from ages 18 to 64 were required to register for drafting, and eventually 36 million men were registered for this. Ted was one of these many soldiers that helped contribute to the harsh conditions and rigorous battles of World War II. Ted explained in his book his involvement in the war. He fought from PT-109 on the American side. He was involved in the battles in the Solomon Islands located in South Asia. Guadalcanal was one of these battles and very notorious for its awful conditions and intense fighting. In 1933, the Jewish population was about 9 million. At the time, most European Jews lived in parts of Germany that the Nazis later occupied during the World War II. By 1945, the Nazis had killed 2 out of 3 European Jews, which later became known as the final solution. Other victims included 200,000 gypsies and at least 200,000 mentally and physically disabled patients that were living in institutional settings were murdered in the euthanasia program. About 2 to 3 million Soviet prisoners either died of starvation, disease, neglect, or maltreatment. The Holocaust lasted about 12 years. In 1945, Auschwitz was liberated, the camps that most of the deaths occurred. World War II brought an end to world depression. South and West Germany was defeated by American and British military, while the East was defeated by Russian military. Germany and Japan was most heavily affected in the aftermath of World War II. Most of their cities were heavily destroyed, and Hitler escaped, and many Nazis were imprisoned. The war ended in Europe with unconditional surrender by Germany on May 7, 1945, along with the German surrender to the Soviets on May 8, 1945. Japan also unconditionally surrendered to the U.S. on September 2, 1945, after 2 atomic bombs were dropped by the U.S. on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan in August 1945.